Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave. Today we're going to do a playthrough of Title Bout II from Straight Jab Media and game designed by Jim Trunzo. So I did open the box, and a couple things I want to show you a little bit about the game. I'm going to play with one of the advanced rules, which is missed punches, because it affects the endurance of a fighter, and when I played the original Title Bout, I always used that too. These four tables are what came with the game. This board right here did not. So I have kind of cut and pasted from the original game board this one, and I want to make sure that I've emailed Straight Jab Media and Jim Trunzo and asked them if it'd be okay if I put this out on Board Game Geek for anybody to use, because I don't want to, break any copyright laws or anything. So I'm asking for their permission to post that out on the game site if I get it. But the game, you got to have a way to know where you're at in the ring and how many points you're scoring, and I don't want to use a piece of paper and tab and then have to add everything up. So this, I think, is critical to the game, so I'm including it in the game. Today's fight is going to be, we have Larry Holmes and the Easton Assassin. He's rated a 9 and he's a boxer, and he has the special skills of intellect and strong closer. And then his control factor versus a boxer slugger, he's an 11 versus a boxer 11 versus a slugger. His aggressiveness is 7, his killer instinct's 9, his endurance is 110, his fouls is C, defense is -2, his knockdown number, so a 1 the first time in a round, he's a 1, but the second time he'll go up to 5 because you add the two numbers together. His knockout though is 0, so you may knock him down, but he's really hard to knock out. Cuts is a 1, so he doesn't cut very easily, and his counter punching is 7, which is very good. And then his fatigue side, things change on him when they fatigue. I'm not using strategies. I'm waiting on, I have ordered the boxer, the cornermen and the referees, and that'll help with the strategy portion of the game. And then we have his punches landed, and this 5 is his hitting power under the normal, so that's what he's got. And then this 37 here with the CP, that means that between the numbers 37 and 45 on a missed punch, there's an opportunity for a counter punch from his opponent. So the bigger the range of that number, so as you can see, his punches missed start at 35. So from 37 to 45, he's good to counter punch against. He doesn't defend against the counter punch very well. Clinching, ring movement, and then of course his 3 and 2 points that he scores on his punches. And Mr. Holmes is going to fight another very good boxer, Jeannette. No nickname. He's rated a 10, and the E means he can fight as either a boxer or slugger. Now, you choose that depending on your opponent's rating, because if he decides to fight as a boxer, his hitting power goes down by 2. But if he can slug, then that's the way to go. And for Holmes, he doesn't care. He's the same rating whether you're a boxer or slugger. His special skill is absorber and ring smarts, and really the ring smarts won't matter, but the absorber adds 10 to his TKO number, so you have to get him all the way up to 40 to TKO him in one round, and that's going to be very, very difficult to do. You can see his control is the same as Holmes. He's a little one point more aggressive, same killer instinct. He's got huge endurance, and he does not foul very much. Average defense, and his KD1 is a 3, but his knockout's also a 0. So you might knock him down, but again, trying to knock him out. But if he goes down the second time in the same round, he's a 10. So yeah, again, hard to cut. Great counter puncher with 9, and then 34 is a good number to start with punches landed. Now here he's a 40 to 50 for his counter punching defense, so not as easy to counter punch against as Holmes is. Clinching and ring movement, and then of course the scoring for his points. So we'll be going off of there. I do have a scorecard or score sheet that I'm going to use, and I'm going to show you that at the end of the fight. I'm going to keep it during the match on my computer. It is one that we could print if I wanted to do it, you know, manually here on the table, but as you guys probably know from some of my other games, I prefer to do it right there on the computer and not burn up a bunch of ink and paper and everything else. And I got it so it calculates some things for me too. Okay, so we'll pull up the tables if we need to get a close-up, because it's going to be a little bit harder to do. And then the same thing here, I'll try to I don't really know the best way to video this, because things are small and yet we got to be far enough away to see what's going on. So I'll try to I may have to try a different angle, but I'll try to kind of show what's going on a little bit. If you don't know who Jeannette is, he fought in the well, he was born in 1879, so now you kind of get the era that he's from. So the Jack Johnson era. He was a truly a great black heavyweight fighter in the period back then. He had 166 bouts that are recorded, and his record was 120 wins with 69 knockouts, 24 losses, 21 draws, and 1 no contest. So back in those days, these guys fought constantly because that's how they made their living. So, I mean, it's not like today where a guy fights once or twice a year, if we're lucky. These guys were fighting constantly, traveling and fighting everywhere. So this will be interesting. We got Larry Holmes, who was a heavyweight champion, and Jeannette. So let's get into it. I'll show you how the game mechanics work, and we'll get started. First thing you got to do is you got your boxing action cards, and you have to split the deck. So I've already shuffled. We'll give them a quick shuffle here, but I've already split the deck into 2. This is the timing for the rounds, and then so we'll get started here. And I have done the modifications on the scorecard. And what did I do with it? Must have closed it. Okay, so just to show you, both fighters are 11 to 11, and there's a conversion chart for control factors, which makes them 10 to 10. So they don't go 11 to 11, they go 10 to 10. You make that adjustment. Jeannette's the aggressor. They both have the same killer instinct. Jeannette's got better endurance for the fight. He doesn't foul as often as Holmes does. You can see on defense, Jeannette's a 0, Holmes is a -2. So Jeannette's punches landed will be 1 to 32, and his hitting power is an 8. Holmes stays at 1 to 34. His hitting power is a 5. Okay, so we'll be reading off of those like that. Like I said, I have a scorecard with all those adjustments on it, and then if we have any cuts or anything that happen, we'll find out. This is a 10-round fight. So this is round 1. They ring the bell, and let's get started. All right, so the aggressor is who you check for control first. And the way we read this is you have CF is control factor, random number is sometimes they'll say foul or injury or something else. There's usually a random number from 1 to 80. This result is for a punch. Ring position is during movement, and then these are your knockdown and knockout numbers, and then the count right there, and then these are your judges' scores on the card, and then you have certain conditions, condition, injury, and special actions that can come up on the fight. Okay, so we check control factor. Like I said, both fighters are 10, so Jeannette gets a 7, so he's in control. And next thing you do is look at the random number. It's a 21, so he lands a punch. And the punch is a 19. And on Joe Jeannette, I won't show you this every time, but a 19 for him is a 3-point hook. So he scores 3 points. We put it on the score right there. All right, Jeannette stays in control. And possible foul. So now we check his foul. Uh-oh, it's a 70. We check the foul number. It's a random number. It's a 73. He is an A. Okay. So a 73 on an A means fighter's foul rating A, 73. He warns the boxer. The referee warns the boxer for hitting on the break. So he takes a warning right here. So on the scorecard, I'm going to note that. Foul warning, 73. Okay. And now we move on. So nothing else happened, he just got warned. Jeannette stays in control. And a 56 is a clinch. But he stays in control. And a 55 is a clinch. And now he loses control. So now you have to see if Holmes gets control. Holmes does not get control. Now we check for Jeannette. Jeannette's back in control. Jeannette, a 40. A 40 is a miss punch. So he's going to miss the punch. Right here. He missed the punch, and that 40 to 50 means Holmes gets to counterpunch. So we mark Jeannette with a missed punch. Now the way this works is you take the counterpunch number 7, you add it, no modifiers, to the punches landed, 34. So 1 to 41, Holmes lands a counterpunch. 48, he does not, and that's it. Now we go back to control for Jeannette. No. Holmes, no. Jeannette, no. Holmes, no. Jeannette gets control. And Jeannette lands a punch. And the punch is a 42. And a 42 is a 2-point cross. Jeannette, no control. Holmes. Holmes gets control. Holmes, 45. Holmes misses the punch. So Holmes misses his punch. I marked that on his score sheet. And Jeannette gets a chance for a counterpunch. His counterpunch is 9 and 34. So a 1 to 43 he lands. He landed the punch. It's a 15. And the punch result is a 45. And the 45 is a 2-point cross. Now we go back to Holmes for control. No. Jeannette, no. Holmes gets control. Holmes is in control. 54. He clinches. Holmes, no control. Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. And Holmes lands a punch. And it is a 49. And a 49 on Holmes is a 3-point combination. So he scored his first shot. Holmes stays in control. And 63 is ring movement. So we check for movement. They stay in the ring center. Holmes, no control. Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. Holmes, oh, here we go. Holmes lands a punch, and this number is less than or equal to his hit power number of 5, so he has a knockdown chance. So now we go to this knockdown chart. We're going to draw this KD number. Now, Joe Jeannette is a 3. We check this number. Oh, it's a 19. Okay, so on this knockdown chart, see if I can show you this very easily. Don't know. We go to 19. We come across to column 3, and there's a K. Holmes knocked down Jeannette. So Jeannette goes down. We got to check him for a knockout. Now his knockout is a 0, and the KOR is a 7. So he does not knock him down, but he goes, I don't waste another card for the count. It's all part of this. So I use the knockdown count number of 6. So he knocks Jeannette down for a 6 count. So I'm going to note that on the score sheet. It's a KD6. Okay. Holmes scored 6 points for the knockdown, and he gets Killer Instinct, which is 9 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to end the round. Now, he does not check for control. He just does the random number selection. So we go 42. And everything applies. He missed the punch. So Holmes misses another punch. And Jeannette gets to counter punch. And his number was 43. Jeannette lands the punch. And it's a 51 and a cut. Well, 51's a 3-pointer. It's 10. Now we check for a cut on Holmes. Now the way you do this is you take the cut number, which is 1, and we add that to this random number. So 1 on 12 is a 13, and on the cut chart, that's no cut. And then Holmes, 36, he missed the punch, and it is not in the counterpunch range. So Holmes missed another punch, so he missed 3 that round, and that brings us to the end of the round. Now, normally we would score this, but a knockdown, he wins the round 10-8. Okay, so I'm going to enter these points that they scored. All comes off the endurance, plus any missed punches also come off the endurance. So I'll do that on the spreadsheet, and we'll be ready to start round 2. Oh, and one other thing we have to do is we have to check to see if he recovers from his knockdown. So we're just going to cut the deck here. And we're looking at the random number. And the random number is a 73. And the 73 on his recovery table over here, there's a recovery table, he had a knockdown count of 6. 1 to 24 he would have carried over, but he gets a 73, so there's going to be no carryover effect into the next round. Okay, so I'll add everything up, and then we'll be ready to start round 2. All right, now we're ready to go into round 2. Give these a quick shuffle here. I've already been shuffled, just shuffle them a little more. Okay, here we go. Round 2, Jeannette starts. He's looking for control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette lands the punch. And the punch is a 7. A 7 on his card is a 2-point jab. And no control, so Holmes gets control. And Holmes lands a punch. And it is a 1 PB. So that means he scores a 1-point punch because it was partially blocked. So he scores 1 point. Holmes does not get control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette lands the punch. And it is a 12. And a 12 is another 2-point jab for Jeannette. Jeannette gets control. And we get special. So now we pull up the next card for special. And it says, nothing special occurs. Consider this just a brief pause in the action, no effect. And Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. Holmes lands a punch. And the punch is a 74. And for Holmes, that is a 2-point uppercut. Holmes stays in control. Holmes lands a power shot. Okay, here we go against Jeannette again. He gets a 9 on a 3. So we, if I can show you this without moving everything. Zoom in a little bit. So the KD number is a 9 and his rating is a 3. So we come over and the number is a 5. You score 5 points. Whoa, his knee buckled. He was stunned by that punch. Okay. So Holmes scores 5 points. Holmes scores 5 points and he gets control. And now he does movement to the near ropes. Okay, so the way I show this, Holmes is the red fighter. He's on the outside and he's got Jeannette on the ropes. Now Jeannette is fighting as a slugger, so that adds 2 to Holmes's control while he has him on the ropes. But Holmes does not have control. Jeannette gets control and he lands a punch. And the punch is an 18. And an 18 here is a 3-point hook. And Jeannette loses control. Holmes gets control. And it is a lands a punch for a 10. And a 10 is a 2-point jab for Holmes. And Holmes stays in control. And 64 is a movement. So Holmes moves back to ring center. So now we're back in the ring center. And Holmes loses control. And Jeannette does not get control. Holmes gets control. And it is a 67, which is another movement. And he stays in ring center. And Holmes stays in control. And Holmes 31. His punches landed as 34, so he lands the punch. And it's a 60. And a 60 for Holmes is a 2-point combination. Holmes stays in control. Holmes lands the punch. And it is a 29. And a 29 is a 2-point hook. Holmes loses control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette, a 51 is clinching, and that's the end of the round. Okay, so the round ends up 14-7, and on a 7-point spread, the high score automatically wins the round 10-9. So Holmes is going to win this round 10-9, and then I do their whole endurance thing here, and we'll get ready to go to round 3. All right, we're ready to start round 3. Everybody set. Nobody got knocked down that last round. So here we go, starting with Jeannette. Jeannette gets control. And Jeannette lands a punch. And the punch is 1, partially blocked. He scores 1. Jeannette stays in control. Oh, he lands a power shot. Okay. Holmes is a 1. Power shot is a 19. So on the knockdown table over here, we do 19 on table number 1. This is K1 through 10. So we need a random number to see if he knocks him down or not. So I'm going to use the other deck over here that I haven't. I'm just going to cut the deck, and the random number is a 9. He knocks Holmes down. So Holmes goes down. So we're going to check for his KOR number, which is a 7 on a 0. He does not knock him out. So he scored 6 points for the knockdown, and he knocks him down for a 6 count. So Holmes is down in the 3rd round for a 6 count. And now Jeannette gets 9 cards on his Killer Instinct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so now we start. So he gets a 42. It's a miss. And Holmes gets a counterpunch. His counterpunch number is 34 and 7 is 44. 12. Holmes lands his counterpunch for a 9, which is a 2-point jab. Now back to Jeannette. Jeannette lands a punch, and it is a 4. And the 4 is, I'll change my angle there a little bit. And a 4 for him is a 3-point jab. And now he lands a punch, and it is a 28. And the 28 is a 2-point hook. And Jeannette, 48. He missed the punch. We score that. And Holmes gets the counter punch with a foul, so it's no counter punch. You don't do any of the text on the counter punching. So that's it. Killer instinct's over. Jeannette does not have control. Holmes does not get control. Jeannette gets control. The 10. And 54, he clinches. And Jeannette, no control. Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control. And Jeannette, movement, 73. So he moves into ring center. And Jeannette stays in control. And he lands a punch. And it is a 19. And a 19 is a 3-point hook. Okay. Jeannette stays in control. Oh, possible foul. He is an A on a 59. And up here on the foul chart, a 59 on an A is the referee is gesturing. He scolds the fighters, no hitting behind the head. So he tells them both to knock it off. Okay, oops, hit my board. All right, here we go. No control for Jeannette. No for Holmes. No for Jeannette. Holmes gets control. And Holmes lands a punch. And it is a 65. And a 65 for Holmes is a 2-point combination. And Holmes does not keep control. Jeannette gets control. And he lands the punch. And it is a 20. And a 20 is a 3-point hook. He does not keep control. Holmes gets control. Holmes lands the punch. And it is a 1, partially blocked. Holmes loses control. Jeannette does not get control. Holmes gets control. And 58 for Holmes is a ring movement. And they go to ring center, and that's the end of the round. The score is 18-5, which is a 13-point difference. So that's a 10-9 round for Joe Jeannette. So again, we'll reset, put everything on the scorecard, and we'll be back for round number 4. All right, and the bell rings for round number 4. And out comes Jeannette, and he gets control. And Jeannette lands the punch. And it is a 74. And a 74 for Jeannette is a 2-point uppercut. And Jeannette does not have control. Holmes does not have control. Jeannette gets control. And he, 35, he missed the punch. But there is no counter punch. But he loses control. Holmes gets control. And Holmes, 33, he lands that punch. And the punch is a 2, which is a 3-point jab. And Holmes does not have control. Jeannette gets control. And Jeannette lands a punch. And the punch is an 18. And an 18 is a 3-point hook. And Jeannette loses control. Holmes gets control with a 10. And a 51 for Holmes is clinching. And he does not have control. Jeannette gets control. And Jeannette, a 50, is a missed punch. And Holmes gets the counter punch with 7 and 34, so it's a 1-44. It's a foul. So he does not hit him with the counter punch. Okay. Jeannette stays in control. Jeannette, 37. He missed the punch. That's the third punch he's missed this round. Jeannette stays in control. Jeannette lands a power shot on Holmes. Okay, so here we go, the power shot. It's a 2 on a 1. That's a 4-point punch. So he staggers him with that one. It was a clean shot that got his attention. Does not have control. Holmes gets control. Holmes lands a punch. And it is a 14. And a 14 for Holmes is a 2-point jab. Holmes stays in control. Holmes 38. He missed the punch. And it's a counter punch for Jeannette. Jeannette is 9 on his 34. Which is 43. 36. He landed the punch. And it is a 1 partially blocked. Okay. Back to Holmes. He gets control. Holmes 65. He's going to do ring movement. And he goes to the ring center. And does not have control. Jeannette does not have control. Holmes gets control again. And he lands the punch. And it is a 52. And a 52 is a 3-point combination. And Holmes does not have control. And Jeannette gets control. And Jeannette gets a 67. And a 67 is a movement. And he goes to the right neutral corner. So Jeannette's got Holmes in the corner. He gets +1 for his control factor. He stays in control. He lands the punch. And it's a 36. And a 36 for Jeannette is a 3-point cross. And that's the end of the round. Okay, the score is 13-8, which is a 5-point difference. So now the judges have to decide what they're going to do on a close round. So what we do is I shuffle the deck a little bit, and we're just going to cut the deck. And the judges say low score, even, even. So it actually, the round goes to the low score, which is Holmes. So Holmes gets it 10-10-10. Jeannette gets it 9-10-10. Okay. So again, I'll set that, shuffle the decks, put everything together, and we'll be ready to go. Alright, now we're ready to start round 5. We start with Jeannette looking for control. He does not get it. Holmes, no control. Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. And Holmes lands a punch. And the punch is a 74. And for Holmes, that's a 2-point uppercut. No control for Holmes. No control for Jeannette. Holmes gets control. Holmes lands a punch. And it is a 33. And a 33 is a 2-point hook. Holmes stays in control. Holmes lands a punch. And it is a 20 and a possible cut. So the 20 is 2 points. And the possible cut. So now we take Jeannette's cut number, which is a 2. We add it to the next random number, which is a 4. So 6, no cut. Okay, Holmes stays in control. He lands another punch. and it is a 71, and a 71 is a 3-point uppercut. Holmes does not have control. Jeannette gets control, and it's a 50, and a 50 is a miss punch. And Holmes gets to try a counter, and he has 7 on 34 is a 41. Foul, no counter punch. Jeannette stays in control. The 64 is a ring movement. Stays in ring center. Stays in control. 74, he tries ring movement. Stays in the ring center. Stays in control. Lands a punch. And a 70 is a 3-point uppercut by Joe Jeannette. Does not have control. Holmes gets control. Holmes, 33, he lands the punch. And it's a 1, partially blocked. It's 1 point. He stays in control. And Holmes lands another punch. 18 and a possible cut. And 18 for Holmes is a 2-point jab. We check him for another cut. It's 2, and 35 is 37. So we'll get our cut table here, and 37 is a torn lip. Right here, 37, torn lip. He loses 1 endurance, -1 per round on his endurance. He scores 1 point. So Holmes scores another point, and this becomes a cut. And it is cut number 37. And he's going to lose an endurance point every round. Okay. So Holmes cutting, split his lip. Holmes does not get control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette, 53 is a clinch. Jeannette stays in control. And Jeannette gets a 66, which is a ring movement. And a ring movement, he moves him into left neutral. So he's got Holmes in the corner. He gets +1 on his control factor, and that gives it to him. He was a 10, but that gives him an 11, so he stays in control. And he missed the punch, but it is not a counter punch. Okay, Jeannette loses control. Holmes does not get control, and that's the end of the round. Back in the center. Holmes is 13-3, which is 10, so he wins that round 10-8, or 10-9, I mean. Okay, so Holmes takes care of that, and we'll go set up the scorecard here. All right, here goes round 6 of a 10-round bout. And Holmes, Jeannette starts, does not get control. Holmes does not get control. Jeannette gets control, and he, 54, clinches. Jeannette, no control. Holmes, no control. Jeannette, no control. Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control. Possible foul. A 73 on an A. He gets warned for hitting on the brake. Sorry, my computer added something I didn't want it to add there. Okay. Jeannette stays in control. 69 is movement. Stays in ring center. Jeannette stays in control. And he lands a punch. And it is a 44. And a 44 is a 2-point cross. Jeannette not in control. Holmes gets control. Holmes lands a punch, and it is a 30, and a 30 is 2-point hook. Holmes stays in control. Holmes lands a punch, and it is a 42, 2-point cross. Holmes stays in control. Holmes lands the punch, and it's a 65, and a 65 is a 2-point combination. Holmes stays in control. Holmes, possible foul on Holmes. A 21 is no foul. It's what is he, a C? It is referee's gesturing. He waives the fighter's complaint, waves off the fighter's complaint, and clearly states no foul. Okay, Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette lands the punch, and it's a 1, partially blocked. Jeannette loses control. Holmes does not get control. Jeannette's got control, and a 22, he lands the punch, and it's another 1, partially blocked. Jeannette, no control. Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control, and it's a 58, and a 58's a clinch. Jeannette stays in control, and he lands the power shot. Okay, Holmes is a 1 on the power shot. Oh, it's the 19 on a 1. It's K1 through 10. We're going to cut the deck and see what we get. It is a 5. He knocks Holmes down. I'm checking for a knockout. A 7 is not. It's a knockdown count of 6. So he knocks Holmes down. So he scores 6 points. And he goes to Killer Instinct now, which is the last 3 cards of the round. He gets a 42, which is a miss punch. And Holmes checks for his counter punch. Oh, he lands the counter punch, and it is a 8, which is a 2-point jab. Okay, so that gives I wrote that on the wrong guy. Control C goes to Holmes right there. Yeah. Then we come back over here and take that off of there. Dang it. Okay. So Holmes goes down on a 6 count. And we need to check to see if there's going to be a carryover. As Joe Jeannette wins that round 10-8 with the knockdown, we'll cut. And it is a 26 on a 6 count. Ooh, 1 to 24 is the carryover, so no carryover. So Holmes avoids that. So I'll score everything up and we'll get ready for the next round. Okay, it's round 7. Round 7, start with Jeannette, no control. Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette lands a punch, and it is a 46. And a 46 is a 2-point cross. Jeannette stays in control. Jeannette lands the punch, and it's a 20 and a cut. And a 20 is a 3-point hook. And the cut number, Holmes adds 1 to 4 is a 5, no cut. Jeannette stays in control. He lands the punch. It's a 44, and a 44 is a 2-point cross. Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. Holmes lands the punch, and it is a 71. That's a 3-point uppercut. Holmes stays in control. A 35, he missed the punch. So Holmes misses the punch, but it's not a counter punch. Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control. 53 is clinching. Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. And Holmes lands a punch. And it's a 72. 3-point uppercut. Holmes, no control. Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. Holmes, 65, that's ring movement, ring center. And Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette, 44, is a miss punch. And Holmes tries to land a punch. And on a 42, it was needed 1 to 41, so he did not connect. Jeannette stayed in control. He lands a punch, and it was a 27, which is a 2-point hook. And Jeannette stays in control, and he lands a punch, and it is a 70, and the 70 is a 3-point uppercut. Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. Holmes lands a punch, and it's a 7, and a 7 is a 3-point jab. Holmes stays in control. Holmes, 36, he missed the punch. But no counter punch. Holmes stays in control. Holmes lands the punch. It's a 50, and a 50 is 3-point combination. Holmes stays in control, and Holmes does ring movement. That's the end of the round. It's a 12-12 round. It's a dead even round, and it's scored even. All right, nothing major there. I'll go through and we'll get everything reset again. Okay, this is round 8. And I can tell you Holmes's endurance is down to 9. So he's really running out of steam, where Jeannette still has 31. So Jeannette is wearing Holmes down. Here we go. Jeannette starts, no control. Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette lands a punch, and it is a 1 partially blocked. And Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. And 68's a ring movement. Ring center. Stays in control. 63, he moves again. Ring center. No control. Jeannette gets control. Possible foul. We need a random 7, no foul. No control for Jeannette. Holmes gets control. He gets a possible foul. 25, it's going to be no foul. No control for Holmes. Jeannette gets control. A 49 is a miss punch. We missed the punch. And Holmes gets a chance to land. Injury means nothing happened. Okay. Jeannette loses control. Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control. It's a 30, and a 30 is a landed punch. And it's a 20, and the 20 is a 3-point hook. And he does not have control. Holmes, no control. Jeannette, no control. Holmes, no control. Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. Holmes, 73, he's going to move to ring center. He stays in control. He lands the punch finally. It's a 15. It's a 2-point jab. No control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette, 34. That's a missed punch. Jeannette stays in control. He lands the punch. and it is a 39, and a 39 is a 3-point cross. And he stays in control, and he gets a possible foul. So we'll shuffle this real quick. And we're going to draw, see what his foul number is. 7, no foul. Okay, so 7-2, it's a 5-point spread. Cut the deck, and the judges scored high, high, and low. Okay, high, high, and low. We'll get everything set up. All right, round 9, Holmes still had 2 on his endurance, so he's going to make it through the end of this round on his endurance. All right. Here we go. Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. Holmes lands a punch, and it is a 77, which is a 2-point uppercut. Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette, 70. He's going to move. He moves onto the near ropes. So he gains 1 on his control factor. He gets control. And he lands a punch. And it's a 74, which is a 2-point uppercut. Loses, no control. Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control because he has him on the ropes. And a 48 is a missed punch. And Holmes gets to try for his counter punch, but it's a miss, nothing. Jeannette stays in control. Jeannette, 56 is a clinch. Jeannette stays in control. Jeannette, oh, he lands the power shot on Holmes. Here we go. And it is a 6 on a 1 is a 4-point punch. And Jeannette loses control. Holmes, no control. Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. 55 for Holmes is clinching. No control. Jeannette, no control. Holmes gets control. And a 57 is ring movement. They go back to ring center. He gets off the ropes finally. Holmes stays in control. 61 is another ring movement. Stays in ring center. He gets control. 34, he lands the punch. A 6 is a 3-point jab by Holmes. Stays in control. Lands a punch. A 68 is a 3-point uppercut. Holmes stays in control. Lands the punch. 64 and a cut. 64 is a 2-point combination. And the cut number, oh, is 68 plus 2 makes that a 70. Okay, so we're going to have to make some adjustments, I think. And I got to look at this because his cut number is actually a 3 from an earlier cut on his split lip. So that would make that 71. Major cut under left eye. Okay, adds 1 to the cut rating. It's a 3-point cut. Moves that up to 13. Gives him accumulated damage of 4. And he has a major cut 71. Okay. All right. Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette, 63, he moves to ring center. Jeannette gets control, and he moves again. So this is 13 to 6 is 7. Holmes wins that round, 10-9. All right, we'll get everything set up for the final round. All right, so we're getting ready for the 10th round. Holmes is out of endurance. His control factor was 11-11, now it's 10-10. So his control factor number now is going to be 9. Okay, sorry, battery issues. So we were checking control. Jeannette didn't have it. Holmes gets control. Holmes lands a punch. And it is an 80, which is a 2-point uppercut. And Holmes stays in control. Holmes gets a 53. That's a clinch. Holmes, no control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette lands a punch finally. It's a 37. And a 37 is a 3-point cross. No control. Holmes gets control. Holmes moves. He moves to ring center. Holmes stays in control. Holmes 41. He missed the punch. And Jeannette gets a chance at a counter punch. 29, Jeannette lands the counter punch. It's a 69, which is a 3-point uppercut. And Holmes does not get control. Jeannette gets control. Jeannette lands another punch. It's a 1, partially blocked. And he stays in control. And he lands a punch. And a 50 is a 2-point cross. And does not get control. Holmes does not get control. And that's the end of the round, the end of the fight. Okay, it is 9-6, Jeannette. So we got to see what the judges are going to do here. See what they say. I'll cut for the judges, and they say low, low, low. They went with Holmes all the way across the board. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so that's the end of the fight. We'll score everything up. I'll take you to my score sheet and I'll show you what it looks like. All right. All right, so this is the score sheet that I'm using. So I built this kind of from the original Title Bout, and I added a few things in. I like this a lot better. What I did though, I created a fighters tab down here, lists all the fighters, and that way I have a pull down menu so I can go find the fighters, and when I put them in, it also puts them in here. So when I go to start using strategy cards, I'll have this information will fill out also. And then I also did the same thing. I have a venue tab, so I went out and looked up some venues for prize fights in history, and it gave me some. And then we can always add more, or you can add more if you're using the sheet. But today's fight was at San Francisco Cow Palace Stadium, and if you wanted to save everything on here and save the record, you could. But I've got another sheet I'm going to show you. But here's how it works out. This was Jeannette was fighter A and Holmes was fighter B. And again, your conditions. So Jeannette got that foul warning, number 73, and he got knocked down for a 6 count in the first round. He also suffered he had that split lip in 37, number 37. I always put the number so I can go back and refer it if I need to. And then he also had the same foul warning again in round 6. And then he had a major cut, number 71. And every one of those cuts, they assign points from the table. And then this accumulated damage, that's what that is. So if you get up to about 10 points, I think, the fight starts running the risk of getting stopped. So he has 4 damage points. Over here, Holmes got knocked down twice during the fight, but no damage points. He didn't get hurt or anything. And then the judges' scores. And then I put the formulas in here to do the calculation for the judges' scores. And I also, this TP plus 0 and PM. So PM is the punches missed. And those get added to your points scored. And the points scored is what the round is scored on, but your punches missed goes against the endurance, and then the endurance comes down. And in this game, you have to calculate the base endurance number is for 12 rounds. So you have to do a calculation to get it down to 10 or 8 or whatever. But I always fight 10, 12, or 15 rounds. So I just put in this little calculator down here, and I can plug in that number, and it shows me right away. I did the calculation. It says this is what it is for 10 rounds. Here's your 12 round, and then here's your 15 rounds if you do that. So bottom line, and then there's some abbreviations of what they mean here, comments if you need them, how the KD2 works. And then we put in, like I said, the judges' scores. So Judge 1 scored at 95-93 Holmes, Judge 2 95-94 Holmes, and Judge 3 96-93 Holmes. So even if the judges hadn't screwed Jeannette on that last round and it'd been 10-9, I think it would have been a split decision or maybe a majority decision, but I don't think he would have won, or I don't think Jeannette could have won it. So it was a very interesting fight, very close. This is one of the closer fights that I've had. So Holmes wins. And then what I want to show you is I have another spreadsheet that I built, and I wanted to be able to keep boxer history. So these are all my heavyweights, and all these tabs list all the heavyweights, and you're thinking, oh my God, how do you don't want to sit here and scroll like this, right? And scroll like this. That would drive me crazy. But if you come to this arrow and you right click on it, you can see all the sheets right there. Now you can scroll up and find whoever you're looking for. So in this case, we're looking for Jeannette and Holmes. So here's Holmes. So you can either click and say okay, or you can double click on Holmes, and it takes me right to his tab. Here's his tab. It's Larry Holmes. There's his rating. He hasn't had any fights yet. This was his first fight. We do the venue. So he fought at the San Francisco Cal Palace Stadium, and he fought Joe Jeannette. So we'll drag down here and find Jeannette. And bounce back up. And Joe Jeannette. It was not a title bout. This is Holmes. He did win. So he gets one win. If he won by knockout or TKO, we also put that one in there because it counts for points for the ranking. But that's it. Holmes did not get cut, didn't have any injuries. And so I have a little scheme that I use, but creates randomness in the fighter. So he gets, because he just fought the distance with no injuries, no cuts, he can fight again in 3 weeks. And I take that 3 and I add it up here. So his next fight available is 4. And you can see he scored 29 points for this win. And if he'd have knocked him out or TKO'd, it would have been even a little bit higher. Now we need to go to Jeannette's card, which, cancel that because it's right here with us. So we go to Jeannette's card and we do the same thing. He fought at the Cal Palace. So we come in there. I always open that up so I can see it. And his opponent was Larry Holmes. So we scroll down here to Holmes. Larry Holmes, he's rated a 9, but Jeannette lost the fight. So he did suffer a cut, but he only had 4 damage points, and he needs at least 5. Then it takes him an extra week to heal. So but the cut means he's out for 4 weeks. So he won't fight again until week 5. Okay. And the fighter ranking, opponent ranking, we didn't have those yet. All that will also go into the scoring, but because this is the very first fight, we don't have any rankings yet. So you can see he only scored 9 points. Now you're wondering, okay, so there's my record for each fighter, how they accumulate and how they get their points. But then the last thing I wanted to do, of course, is keep rankings. So I also have a tab called Boxer Rankings. So, okay. And now we have the fighters that have fought. You can see they've got either a win, a loss, a draw. Do they have a knockout? What week are they available to fight in? How many points? And all I got to do here is I wrote a little macro that says rank them. And so I can update this at any time. I just click that. Now you see Larry Holmes is now the #1 ranked boxer because he scored 29 points by fighting Joe Jeannette. And Joe Jeannette in the losers is the best loser because he fought Larry Holmes. So the better fighter, he gets a little bit better, but they're all still down here. So he's got some ground to start making up once they start to fight. A guy that fights more often and wins is going to climb into rankings faster than a guy that doesn't. And then the whole week available thing is so that when I get ready, after I fight through all the fighters and everybody's got a ranking, then I come here and I can filter this and say, okay, it's not going to be week 1 anymore. It's going to be week 2. So I want to see who's available on week 2, who's available week 3, week 4, and only the fighters that are available in that week can fight that week. So there's where you get your matchups, and you go top to bottom. So the highest ranked guy fights the next guy closest to him, and the ranking difference does help when you're fighting a guy. So, okay, well, I just wanted to show everybody kind of what I've been toying with here for the game. Some improvements or enhancements, not improvements, enhancements to the game that I like. And then at some point, I plan to, when I finish fleshing this out, is to write the instructions for the spreadsheet, protect some cells so you can't wipe out formulas, and then post it on Board Game Geek. That's my intention here, hopefully in the next week or so. For my little scoreboard or game board that I made, I have asked the publisher if I can use it with the cut and paste like this. If I can post that out there on Board Game Geek, I would really like to do that, but I don't want to get in trouble for copyright violations or something because I did copy part of their game board. So I just want to see if I have permission for that. Okay, well, that concludes our first fight in Title Bout II. It was a thriller. It really was close. I'm a big fan of this game. I love this game. I love boxing, and I just have a lot of fun with it. So if you like the video, give me that thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I sure would appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good one. We'll have some more fights. I got some updates. I want to add some more of the strategy rules and things like that to the game. And, it'll slow the game down a little bit, but it'll add a little more oomph to the game. And I want to use all that stuff too. So we're getting there. All right. Everybody, have a good one, and we'll see you next time.